All right, Cliff, first day, 30 clubs, 15 days,
Yes,
presented
sir.
by T-Mobile. Don't forget that. We're with the Nationals. This is what I'm thinking for an intro.
Okay.
Just hear me out.
Okay.
2025 Nats. It's about natitude.
That ain't it.
Okay. Hey, 2025 Nats. We're naturally funky.
That ain't it.
Okay.
Didn't you hear Davy's speech when we got out here?
Yeah.
It's 30 clubs in 15 days. Roll flow, I got this.
Good grief.
30 clubs in 15 days starts right now.
From West Palm Beach, Florida, we're with the Washington Nationals. It's 30 clubs, 15 days, presented by T-Mobile. Glad you're with us. Cliff Floyd, Robert Flores. Cliff, it's hard to believe that the Washington Nationals are about to begin their 20th season in the nation's capital.
Yeah, you know what? And I go back to my Montreal days.
That's
Montreal
right.
Expos before the Nationals, but I think they've now understand, who they are, their identity. They have a young core, one of opportunity to be good. And that's all you really want. When you Mike Rizzo and you've weathered the storm for a long time, the general manager here, you have to understand what you have and then know that you can put, guys in certain positions and be successful and win now.
Yeah, and they did win it all in 2019.
Yeah.
But since that 2019 World Series, Cliff, the Nationals have not been to the postseason. Let's show you this. Additions and subtractions. Now, reportedly, Kyle Finnegan set to return as the closer, as signing a deal or agreeing to a deal just a few days ago with this Washington Nationals team. So he's set to return as the closer. But let's begin with the birthday boy, Dylan Cruz. Big plans for the birthday?
Just dinner with the family.
Hey, man, spring training. You can't do nothing.
That's
You know
true.
what I'm saying?
That's
Up to 6 o'clock.
a very good point. You enter your first full big league season. What do you, if you could go back and tell yourself at this time last year what your first big league experience would be like, what would you tell them?
Man, I don't know. I would just tell them to have fun, really, and go do what you do and be yourself. And I mean, we have a good culture, a good chemistry building in this locker room right now. So I think we're gonna do some special things this year. It's gonna be fun.
We got a little dig me session here. We've got some video of your first home run against the Yankees
Game
and
3.
Carlos Rodon.
Yeah, game 3.
Oh, he's challenging with some heat, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Little fastball inside.
Generally, what are you trying? What's the plan here, especially facing? Here's another one against another left-hander, Imanaga.
Yeah. I know both of them have good ride fastballs, so really just trying to stay on top of it and work downhill. I think these guys have a lot of success when you try and lift the baseball. So for me, this offseason especially, I've really worked on just staying down and through the baseball and almost hitting like a ball above the baseball. I know Bregman talks a lot about that.
Yeah.
So he's an LSU guy, and we have talked about it, and yeah, just staying on top of the baseball and staying through it. But yeah, and then, like I said, it all goes back to swinging at the right pitches too. And I think they have a lot of success too when you get out of your zone and get out of your plan, and yeah, just sticking to it.
As far as your game, see stolen bases at 12. Like, how do you perfect that part of your game to make sure you can carry this team at times?
Yeah, I mean it's all the basic stuff really.
Yeah.
I think controlling what you can control. And like we said, it's taking balls and swinging at strikes. But back in college, that's what we focused on the most, really. I think my coach in college used to always say that the strike zone is like the line of scrimmage in football.
Mm-hmm.
You control that from both sides of the plate and both sides of the game, good things will happen. So, yeah, I mean, I think if you can work on your swing as much as you possibly can, but if you aren't swinging at the right pitches,
right.
It's hard to go out there and compete,
Happy birthday again.
Thanks, brother.
Look forward
Yeah.
to you in 2025.
Thank
Have a
you.
great year, boss.
Thanks, man.
All right, here with Nathaniel Lowe, Nats first baseman. First of all, you got the whole full off-season experience, changing teams, and you got married as well.
Oh yeah, it was amazing. Yeah, we got to travel. We went up to Canada, got married in the mountains, and growing up in the Southeast, the snow and the mountains weren't really something that I was used to, but we had a great time, had our immediate family up there for the weekend, and obviously between getting married and getting traded, moving our life together and figuring out what's going to be in store for us this summer, it was an interesting winter, but an exciting one at that.
What was your reaction to the trade when you first learned of it?
I was excited. Because they say so much about Washington having a bright future and a young core and really talented players. And now after a week and a half of getting to see that, I see it too. So, I'm excited for this season. I think we're going to make great things happen, and we're looking to build blocks for future success as well.
And looking at last year's numbers at the first base position for this team, I mean, that is an area of need. So when you looked at that and you heard of the trade, was your reaction, hey, there's an opportunity for me to make a difference here?
Oh, yeah. Especially to be able to fill a new team's needs and to be able to help them continue on the path to success. Like, I don't like the rebuild term because every team should be able to show up in spring training and be ready to compete. The 6-month grind and figuring out what works and what doesn't work and where to revert to when you're in trouble, it's going to be really cool to see so much talent in this clubhouse have to go through that.
Best of luck in D.C., man.
Thank you.
Nathaniel Lowe of the Washington Nationals. Let's send it over to Cliff Floyd, who's with James Wood.
Big J, what up, man?
What's going on?
How you doing?
Not too bad.
I got this quick story. So 2 years ago, I come here, I'm talking to your general manager, Mike Rizzo, and I'm hearing this sound. And it's a different sound. Everybody used to say it's a sound off the bat. And it was you taking BP on the backfield. and all he said was, he coming. Now you're here, right? So just talk about the first season. I know it wasn't a full season, but you got it under your belt. How'd you feel about it?
Yeah, it was just good. Get my feet wet, just get comfortable with the guys, the coaches, and yeah, just picking up something new, just learning and asking questions and just getting ready to carry it all into this year.
Young core you guys have here. As far as you, what's the one thing you working on this camp so you can perfect and get yourself in position mentally to go out there and battle for 162?
Yeah, I just think being consistent, whether that's in the cage with my routine or just mentally, it's a lot of ups and downs. So just being able to kind of ride through those and just be the same guy every day. I think we're all just ready to grow together, and I think we'll surprise some people this year.
First open today, how'd that sound?
Sounds good to me.
Yeah? Mom and Dad gonna be there for sure, because I've seen them a lot, right? Had those tickets front and center?
Yeah, it's right in their backyard, so
they'll be there supporting their boy. Good to see you, man. Have a great season, all right?
Thank you.
Stay healthy.
Yes, sir.
All right, bro.
Cliff, you're a big dude.
Yeah.
James Wood is bigger.
And he's a big guy. You know what? And it was fun to talk to him for a little bit and just sort of get a feel of what he's trying, work on in the spring. Spring is always, good for you to get the mindset right, understand, the work in the off season was good, but now you got to transition. Good head on the shoulders. I'm looking forward to him being a star.
Now let's talk about the rotation. At the top, they feel really good.
Yeah.
Mackenzie Gore, Jake Irvin. At the bottom, that's where the battle is, the battle for the fifth rotation.
I think the fifth starter is just as important as the first. I think when you look at the turnover effect and what they bring to the table, you need quality innings out of them. You can't burn the bullpens with these guys, but when you have a camp like this, there's always a window of opportunity for you to go out there and shine. Not try to do too much, but be the guy that can give your team 30-plus quality starts. That's what Davey's looking for.
And there's 3 lefties that are currently battling for that fifth rotation spot. DJ Hers, Mitchell Parker, and the Japanese import Shinosuke Ogasawara. When we come back from Nats camp, we're going to talk to one of those many young stars here in West Palm Beach. Shortstop C.J. Abrams joins us. 30 clubs, 15 days, presented by T-Mobile, rolls on.
April 14, 2005, Major League Baseball returns to the nation's capital.
And RFK is rocking again, and the folks will not sit down.
Ryan Zimmerman has delivered in the first game in their beautiful new ballpark.
Steven Strasburg has a chance to be the best pitcher in the game. He strikes out 14 strikeouts.
Total domination from Jordan Zimmerman.
He's got it! It's a no-hitter! Max Scherzer!
For the second time this year, there is the no-hitter.
20 strikeouts for Max Scherzer.
This is awesome.
6 for 6 in the game for Rendon with 10 runs batted in.
These guys are booking it on a hot day.
This is a true president's race right here.
5 home runs in 1 inning, a new Nationals record.
This is unreal.
And if you walked out of this ballpark, you blew it.
Line drive, base hit to right.
3 runs scored. slam. 7 runs home here in the bottom of the first inning. Unbelievable.
The Washington Nationals are National League champions.
Howie Kendrick has done it again. Do you believe it, Howie Kendrick? Swing and a miss. Swing and a miss. And a World Series Game 7 winning Curly W is in the books.
The Nats are going to be a pretty darn exciting team.
I'm telling you, something special is going on in D.C., folks.
30 clubs, 15 days. We're with the Nationals. It's presented by T-Mobile. As we said at the top, the Nats haven't been to the postseason since winning the World Series in 2019. C.J. Abrams, one of the many players hoping to change that. C.J., I thought the early messages from Davey were pretty interesting. One, it was, we're here to win now. The rebuild transition is over. And two, we need to do the fundamentals correctly all the time. How have those messages been received by you guys?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Dave's big on being present and staying where your feet are and taking care of the task at hand. So, like I said, our time is now. So every day we come out here, we compete and have fun together and get better.
You mentioned that you were this offseason consistently more in the weight room. I could see the difference. You're bigger, you're stronger. What other things did you work on in the offseason?
Yeah, definitely putting on some weight was big, but good weight. I want to be able to move it as well. So I was running 3 times a week, lifting 4. So I was just in the gym every day, putting in that work.
How do you feel? Where would you say you're at right now defensively?
Defensively, I'm a lot better than I was. I put in a lot of work in the off season, so I think we're ready.
What have been the kind of their 1 or 2 things that you've figured, okay, defensively I feel much better, I'm more confident in these particular areas? There may be 1 or 2?
Moving my feet, definitely. My feet would kind of get lazy in the field. I don't know what that is, whether it's long legs or whatever, but in the offseason I put in a lot of work moving my feet. So I think that'll take care of a lot of the throwing things and glove work as well.
I know last season didn't end the way you wanted. What are some things that you learned about yourself during that whole time?
Yeah, just being more consistent, staying in the gym, making sure my body's always ready to play. And yeah, just being more consistent for sure.
And when you look at the other players around you, you're part of this young core. You're a very vital part of the young core. What do you see as the present and maybe even the future for you guys?
Man, it's going to be good really soon. And like I said, our time's now, and we're just ready to get going.
All right. Well, good luck this season. We appreciate the time.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
I can see already the intensity's there. The pitchers and catchers, they set the standard. Everything's going well. I'm happy. I'm excited. All you guys should be excited. It's going to be a good year for us. It really is.
30 clubs, 15 days, presented by T-Mobile, rolls on. Day one here.
Day one, baby.
And you know what? I love the message here that you gave to your ball club. It really fired us up. What would you say to get Cliff Floyd fired up?
Hey, we're #1, baby.
Let's go. Hey,
let's open this window.
Manager interviews are presented by Sage, the official finance software partner of Major League Baseball.
30 clubs, 15 days is presented by T-Mobile. We're with the Washington Nationals, a team trying to find their footing in a very difficult division, the National League East. Here's a look at how the division shaped up last season. The Phillies roll into 2025 as your defending division champions. Time now for the manager interview presented by Sage, here with Davey Martinez. And Davey, I love the message from day one of this camp was the transition, the rebuild, whatever you want to call it, it's over. You guys are young, but we're here to win, and we're here to win now.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what it's all about, right? I mean, look, our core guys are here, right? They're here. They got the feet wet a little bit last year. I think now the message is clear. Hey, let's play meaningful games in September. Let's get in, and we'll go from there. So these guys are very competitive, and I love what's going on so far in camp. They want to win. They do. They really do. And they're tired of getting beat up. I've heard throughout the years, the last couple of years, hey, you guys are coming. You guys are coming. I don't want to hear that no more. I tell these guys, hey, we're here, and we're going to go out there and compete.
How do you keep, Davey, younger guys, when you talk about the young core? Well, they do have responsibility and accountability to, sort of run the team as far as your stars, but how do you keep them from building that pressure on themselves, too much pressure to where they succumb to, a struggle, a 0 for 10, or the 0 for 20? It's going to come, but how do you keep them sort of level and chill?
It's based on, one, I tell them, hey, focus on the process, right? I mean, the process is fearless to me. So, let's focus on the process and break everything now. For our hitters, I tell them, hey, what can we do in 10 at-bats instead of thinking about the whole year? Focus on just what's happening now, and don't worry about what's gonna come later on. I said, if we can keep our feet grounded, and worry about today, good things will happen.
Had a chance to talk to your big boy in James Wood. I ain't looked up to a lot of guys in a long time. What's the one thing you want him to leave camp with where you know is going to transition to the season?
Yeah, for me, it's just about him being him. Really, I mean, he's been so good. He's another kid that's just very astute. You know, he's a student of the game. He wants to get better. You know, a lot of talks about, you know, whether he could pull the ball or not. And I told him, I've seen a lot of good hitters hit the ball in the middle of the field. No, I said just stay in the middle of the field. You're going to be just fine. When that ball's in there, you'll get to it. You know. As you know very well.
Well, I was a pool guy, and that's what I'm saying. I'm watching them. Like, everything is left center. Roflo and I was talking about it. If you don't pull the ball, so what?
Yeah.
Right?
No, yeah, I told him.
I don't need you to get a guy over the third base. I need you to get him in.
Stay in the middle of the field.
Yeah.
Stay in the middle of the field. Good things happen when you stay in the middle of the field.
It's not official yet, but there are reports that Kyle Finnegan could be returning. I know the back end of the bullpen was something that was a question coming in, but if things work out, to have that spot potentially solidified, what does that mean for your team and specifically the bullpen?
Yeah, no, to add Finnegan back with us is awesome. It really is. I mean, here's a guy that we counted on a lot over the past few years. He takes the ball. You know, that's what I love about him. He takes the ball. He's fearless. We add him to the group that we already got, and I really give Riz and his group up there a lot of credit for bringing guys in that could help us in the back end. I think we're going to be fine.
Lastly, just how do you get this team to contend and fight for a chance to play in the postseason?
Yeah, it really is. It's about being where our feet are every day. You know, and my message is always the same. Go 1-0 today. Let's focus on today.
All right, well, congratulations on all your success. Best of luck to you and the Nats in 2025. We appreciate the time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, bro.
That's the skipper, Davey Martinez. Obviously, this Washington Nationals franchise has so much young talent. And for more on what's in the system below the big league level, here's Jonathan Mayer.
Thanks, Roflo. A lot of exciting things happening here at Nationals camp. It starts with their top prospects in the system. Everyone knows about Dylan Crews, who's a #2 overall pick just a couple of years ago. Hit Washington last year. He's ready for that Nationals outfield, joining James Wood full-time. Then there are some really, really exciting arms right behind that. Sort of is what the system is all about right now with Travis Sikora. You got Harlan Susana. A little bit further down, you've got Alex Clemmie, who they got via trade. So a lot of high-powered arms. And then there's still some bats. Brady House, a former first-rounder, and Seaver King was their 2024 first-rounder. So a lot of good things happening right here. Speaking of good things happening, joined by the #2 guy on that list, and that's Travis Sikora. And Travis, I guess the first question everyone wants to know, you had hip surgery in the offseason. How you feeling? How close are you to being back on the mound?
I feel good. I feel like I'm back to my normal mechanics, can finally use my hip, which is great. And I'd say a couple more weeks and I'm on the mound, so it shouldn't be too long before I'm in a game.
All right, you know, one of the things I kind of love about you, Travis, is people saw you coming out of the draft and they see big high school right hand from Texas. You can throw really hard, but he's a thrower, not a pitcher. And then people saw your feel for pitching right out of the gate. Like, where did all that come from? How much do you love sort of kind of defying that sort of prototype of what you're quote unquote supposed to be?
Yeah, I mean, you know, being Texas high school guy through 100, you get labeled as a thrower all the time. So I think for me that was my motivation, is showing that I can pitch with the high velocity. So especially my first year last year in low A, I took it upon myself to really like dive into the pitching and research on my own, and you know, ask questions to the coaches and figure out how to pitch and not just throw.
All right, last question for you. You're not going to be ready for the spring breakout this year, but last year that was your kind of unofficial professional debut. How exciting was that to be on the field with all of the Nationals prospects at one time, and what are you looking forward to, even if you'll be a spectator this time around?
It was cool last year, especially with Davey Martinez in the dugout. You know, you go from playing high school baseball to, you know, a big league manager coaching you in the dugout, and then all the players, the prospects. It was cool. I had so much adrenaline that day, and it was a good outing too. So it was a great day. And this year, I won't be pitching, but I'll be in the dugout. And I texted our player development guy, and I was like, hey, can I at least be in the dugout? Because it was so fun just to be there, and whether I'm pitching or not, you know, just hanging out in the dugout and talking to those guys and hearing what they say, it's really important.
All right, Travis, thank you very much. And Roflo, 100-mile-an-hour heat coming to Nationals very, very soon. Back to you.
Jonathan, thanks. You know, the second annual spring breakout begins March 13th as the top prospects from the Rays and Red Sox can be seen right here on MLB Network. Tune in on March 6th at 11 a.m. to find out which prospects will be participating for each team throughout spring breakout. Okay, we're wrapping things up from Nats camp. Cliff Floyd, Robert Flores. Cliff, as you look at the 2025 Nats, what do you see?
Well, I think that they're a team that's destined to win maybe 10 more games than they were last year at 71. They got some guys that got their feet up on them as far as their young core. If you're going to tell me the rotation is pretty much set, other than the fifth spot, that's a start in the right direction. So shortening the game is probably going to be the biggest thing with the bullpen. How can I shorten the game and give Davey some more opportunities with Finnegan signing, possibly signing here? That definitely helps them. So I like where they are as a core.
There's so much young talent here, Cliff, but I had someone here at Nats camp say, C.J. Abrams is the engine that drives us. I know last season didn't end the way he wanted it to.
Right.
What are you expecting from him this year?
And that was a sour taste, right? You go into the offseason, typically you want that good taste in your mouth to go into spring training. It wasn't for him, and I think that was a learning curve that he has to accept and understand. Things happen. Trials and tribulations at this level happens all the time, Flo. So get through those and understand that you have a long journey in this game, and I think they'll be fine.
All right, that's going to do it from Nats camp. For everyone behind the camera, for Cliff Floyd, I'm Robert Flores. Thanks for watching.